Hey, welcome back today. I want to introduce you to my new favorite holster made by StealthGear USA. I'm going to be using this holster with every single gun I own pretty soon because I like it that much. They sent me a model for testing with the Smith & Wesson Shield. I've been carrying it around, and in a word, it is the most comfortable holster of its kind that I've ever worn, and it solves a lot of problems in a lot of ways by combining the best of many different worlds of holster design. I'm going to go over some things here real quick regarding some other holsters just to kind of show you how this one works out to solve some of those problems. Recommending a holster to somebody is kind of like recommending a girlfriend. You can talk about the specifications, but when it comes right down to it, it gets down to, do the two of you really get along? Does it work with your lifestyle? That kind of thing. So there are lots of good holsters out there. I like to carry inside the waistband, and I've used this holster for a while. This is a Galco Stow and Go, and I've used this for my Glock 19 for quite some time. Leather is good, leather is comfortable, and I do happen to like the clip style of belt attachment rather than the loops. I know that that's a personal point of opinion as well, but it works for me. Your mileage may vary. The problem that I find with leather is that leather over time does wear fairly quickly, and the retention becomes a matter of having to cinch down your belt more. So it becomes a question of more dressing around the gun and adapting yourself instead of getting a holster that just plain holds the gun in place. I have similar problems with holsters like these from Sticky Holsters. I actually like this holster. I use this holster sometimes. But retention with a holster like this really is a matter of how much you're going to cinch that gun on your belt, and not so much a matter as the little pocket itself providing retention. You can go with hybrid designs. I've got a hybrid design here. This doesn't happen to be an inside the waistband holster. This is actually a pretty doggone good holster from Aegis. And this is their holster designed for inside the waistband at about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I don't carry in that position, but this is a very good holster for that design, and I've reviewed it previously, and I like it a lot. The nice thing about hybrid designs is that they combine the fact that you've got a molded plastic or Kydex shell that pretty much holds the gun in place correctly, especially with a gun a holster design like this that wraps around your body. It gets additional retention by the way that it squeezes that shell into place. The leather makes it comfortable, but with a large flat surface like this, the leather will hold moisture to some degree, not so much as Kydex or plastic or something. You take a look at the Kydex designs like this. This is a holster from Blade Tech. Very good holster for appendix inside the waistband carry of a Ruger LCP, again with a belt clip. I like this because it does have good positive retention. The thing with plastic and Kydex is that these little edges will always, no matter what they do, they will always to some degree stick into your gut. That's less of a problem if you're very thin and athletic. It's more of a problem if you're carrying the evidence of a successful lifestyle, carrying a few pounds like someone like me is. So good holster, but it has that problem of being difficult to carry a long period, digs into your gut, and also they tend to get uncomfortable on the back because perspiration will gather around here. There's no place for it to go. The holster that I've been using and testing from StealthGear solves all of those problems in a lot of ways. Right off the bat, going over some of the features of the holster, it is a belt clip design. I like that. That could easily be traded out for belt loops if you prefer that kind of a design. It is held in place with very high quality Chicago machine screws type hardware. There are rubber washers or grommets here, so by tightening down the screws you can adjust the amount of retention you have, and that amount of retention is determined by the Kydex shell over the backing material, not by how hard you cinch it on your belt or something like that. So that's a good thing. What I particularly like about this, in another way, is if I fold the clip aside, you can note that there are 3 different machine screws here, the Chicago style machine screws, so that you can have a nice flush backing here. And that you can adjust this clip to any of those 3 places and 2 positions on the clip itself. So this can ride as low or as high inside of your waistband as you like. I happen to like the default value that comes from the factory. That works pretty well to kind of balance out how much concealment I'm getting by riding lower and how much I can get a firm, what you'd call a full combat or full grip on the gun coming out of the holster, which is an important thing. But you can adjust that by just putting the clip in different places. So good quality in that regard. The backing material is important. Whereas on a holster like this or the crossbreed designs, you'd have a leather backing material. Leather does not really breathe. It's comfortable, but it doesn't breathe. I don't know to what degree you can see this or not, but this is a breathable nylon material. Soft nylon on the back up against your skin. Hard nylon on the inside up against the gun to provide more retention there to keep the gun into place. Very nicely sewn edges, smooth, rounded edges around the outside of this backing material. This material up against your skin does not collect sweat. It allows your skin to breathe. And the soft material here, the rounded edges, make this a very comfortable holster to carry. So I can carry this shield all dang day long. You'll notice how what's up against my skin is this surface here, and it gets to the point where you barely feel the gun there. You barely notice that you're carrying a firearm. And for that reason, I like this better than any holster of this kind that I've gotten before. Now keep in mind, this is not a simple molded clamshell with a couple of rivets or a couple of grommets design. This is going to cost you a little bit more than some of the other holsters. This is not a $20 Uncle Mike's nylon holster that you're going to get at Walmart. Good stuff, though. And for that reason, this is what I'm going to order for every single gun that I have. I have it for the Shield right now. I'll be getting for my Glock and my Rugers and other guns as well. And this is the way that I'm going until somebody invents something, I don't know, magic. But this is the finest holster that I've found so far for appendix carry inside the waistband. I'll put comments down in the link so that you can know where to get these. And that's the StealthGear AIWB holster, the goodest one I can find. And that's Zombie Tactics for today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.